And any pictures you see of New London, downtown New London, what is one of the big things that's sticking out and up but the spire from First Congregational? If it's a picture taken from down by the train station going up State Street, you see the church. If it's taken from up by the City Hall, by the Guard Theater, you've got that church in the picture all the time. And it's gone, which is it's weird. I know it's just a piece of rocks. But I found a picture of me on my baptismal day. This is my mother and me on our front porch. And that was March 21st, 1948. I was married in that church on March 21st, 1970. 22 years later, the same date, which I didn't realize that we got married on the same day as I had been baptized 22 years before. So we've got a long history with First Church.
My mother and father got married there in 1925, so that was our family church. And 4 children, we were all baptized there, all went to Sunday school there.
My dad was the custodian for the First Congregational Church from the early 50s till 1955. And I helped my dad every Saturday clean every nook and cranny of that sanctuary, which was absolutely huge. Well, I just loved the massness of the church and the beautiful organ that they had in the loft. And to hear the organist play that, she would be practicing sometimes on Saturdays when we were there. But I really got to enjoy the sanctuary because I loved being in the sanctuary, and that was just my pride to help clean that.
First Church had the most warm and welcoming sanctuary. What I remember truly is just this wash of beautiful warm color, and then person after person coming up, introducing themselves, embracing you. I just want to say it was almost like the TV show Cheers, that everybody knew you and everybody was happy to see you and everybody called out your name when you walked in the door.
So it would have been the Easter of 2017. And we started off the service just as normal. We did our call to worship. We sang our opening hymn, which was, I remember, which was In the Garden, which is, I think a lot of people know that hymn. It's a very sort of traditional Easter hymn, very old fashioned. And as we are singing the last few notes of the hymn, I see out of the corner of my eye an older woman walking into the church, into the sanctuary, with what I assumed was her daughter, her adult daughter. And what happened was everything stopped. The music stopped, the service stopped, everybody looked over, and all of a sudden everybody was like, Louise is here. And everybody got up out of their seats, ran over to this woman and gave her hugs, greeted her. And this was a long-term member of the church who had been homebound for a long time. Her daughter was in town and had brought her to church. And so, and then of course, and so the whole service stopped for this woman who hadn't been to church in so long. And somebody at that point said, oh my goodness, In the Garden is one of Louise's favorite hymns. We need to sing it again for Louise. And then somebody else said, we should just start the whole service over again for Louise. And so that's what they did. And in a larger church, that would never have happened. Those are the kinds of moments that happened all the time at First Congregational Church.
When we were kids, you got the opportunity to ring the bell that was up in that spire that everyone saw come down. Big, huge bell, 600 pounds or 800 pounds or something. And it was on a big, huge rope with a knot in it so that the knot wouldn't go through the ceiling. And we could pull the bell down and hang on and ride up the thing. So that was always fun after church service to be able to ring the bell.
That building sort of represented a certain welcoming place. and you could just kind of walk in and know that you would find a place where you would be welcome.
It's often a conundrum in spirituality because you're trying not to be super tied to material things, because that can get in the way of spiritual growth a lot, right? But we're creatures of earth as well as stars. So we love our stuff and we love our monuments. And when, especially back in the day when everything was built huge and going up to God, and you know, we did it in honor of spirituality raising us up. So we have these big buildings that are living works of art that we can go into. So on the one hand, you feel like you should be able to say, I'm above this attachment, but the reality is no.
My daughter called me and at home and said, "Were you watching the news?" And I said, "No." She said, "Well, the First Congregational Church fell down."
And I honestly, I couldn't watch all the videos coming in that day.
It was just too shocking, I think, too shocking to even think about.
I haven't walked down there. No. That's a little hard to look at.
But I think I'm ready now. I think I'll stop by and pay my respects to what was. Because see, I mean, it's block, it's granite, but it gave witness to all the good things that happened there. And that's why humans love their stuff, because our stuff is imbued with all of our memories and with all of the beautiful things that we experienced before. So it's not merely a piece of granite, as beautiful as that granite may be, but it also, you know, it gave witness to those beautiful Epiphany services. It gave witnesses to all of the funerals where people gathered to grieve and to say goodbye to the people they loved. It gave witness to all of the baptisms and weddings and how we say again that we believe in new beginnings when we have those ceremonies. It was witness to the lives well lived. And we mourn for the architecture that's lost and the change to our cityscape, but we also mourn for what the stones witnessed. And I think that's why it's so hard to say goodbye to it.